Hi, I'm Mary DiBenedetto Ribaul, and I believe that everyone has a story to tell. And if you live long enough, you can write a few books. So here goes one of mine. I was born in 1901 to Leonardo and Concetta DiBenedetto. My parents were born in the 1860s in a small town in Sicily that would later be destroyed by an earthquake. So they came to America, and my father worked on a plantation in Thibodeau. They eventually purchased 40 acres in Tickfaw to farm strawberries. Now, I never went to school. I was not allowed to walk through the woods to get there. So my father taught me at home. I learned to read and write in Italian. I'm very proud to say that my own children each earned their college degree. I married Joseph Ribaul at 19 years old and moved to Gretna, and we lived with my in-laws. I got pregnant right away, but I couldn't have the baby. So I laid on my mother-in-law's kitchen table for 2 days. Finally, my mother arrived by train and brought a doctor from New Orleans to help. That baby died after 9 months. And that doctor told me I'd never have any more children. So I prayed and prayed for years and years to the Blessed Mother. And in between several miscarriages, I gave birth to 9 living children. Now we built our own house and grocery right over here on 4th Street, European style, business in the front, kitchen in the back, downstairs, and bedrooms upstairs. Every day I cooked for 11 plus extra to feed anybody that needed food. Now speaking of food, one time I went to labor early, so I had time to make a big pot of chicken soup before heading upstairs to have that baby. Yeah. Dr. Gelpy came to help that time. Thank God for Dr. Gelpy. He was the only doctor in town. We had no hospital. And if you got sick, he either came to you or you went to his house on 2nd Street. So I belonged to St. Joseph, and we had a nice ladies group, but I couldn't participate in meetings because what with the babies and running the grocery store and the phones ringing for Joe's truck line. So I was very, very busy. What I did do, though, was volunteer to cook for all the events. St. Joseph Church and School was the hub of Gretna. There were festivals for every occasion. But my children, they didn't like to learn there very much. They would rather play. They liked to play basketball and volleyball and baseball. And during that time, the school had no cafeteria, so they all went home for lunch. Then on Sundays, we dressed up for church and we came home to fried chicken. Well, guess what? I killed and plucked those chickens myself. Sometimes we went to visit my family in Tickfaw on the farm, and we brought them groceries and candies and whatever else was needed. I was an expert seamstress. I drew my own paper patterns, and during the war, I made dresses out of the seed sacks from the Rose Garden down there on Lafayette and 1st Street. World War II was an emotional time for all. Blacks and whites were still separate. The French, they were very, very prejudiced against the Italians, although they liked our food. They just thought they were better than everybody else. And the Germans were treated with suspicion. Right down in River Road, there was Camp Algiers, and they were vetting Germans there to make sure that they were not Nazis. And they also offered Jews a safe place, but it was right next to where they were vetting Germans. Anyway, the Italians stuck together, very tight knit, and no one got along with the Irish.
Imagine that.
Not even the Irish. So during the war, you could see submarines going right down this Mississippi River. And my Joe, he was obsessed. He was an air raid person. So we had blackout drills all the time, and he would cram everybody under the grocery store counter. Well, guess what? I didn't have time for that. But we did share our ration stamps with those who needed it because we always had extra with the grocery store. And when the poor would come to sell their wares, we would buy them, though we didn't need anything, just to help them out. And they liked to sit and drink coffee and talk about their journeys to America. Before they built this bridge in 1958, we would cross the ferry to bring vegetables and fish back to sell at the store. And on late nights, we'd pile into our Studebaker and go to Cafe Du Monde. And on the ferry, everybody liked to count how many we had in the car. And some of my children had pajamas on. Well, they served us powdered sugar donuts on trays at our car window. We had powdered sugar everywhere. So let's see. We had 9 children, 26 grandchildren, and many, many great-grandchildren. I want to share my philosophies on life. The energy that's given, don't waste it. And what you can do for yourself, do it. And always, always learn. I got to go because I have a big pot of meatballs on the stove. But if you're hungry, you can come and get some. Wait, you want to hear more about my marriage to Joe? Yes. Well, that's another book. So this script is very special to me. This Mrs. Ribaul is very special because every word of this script came from memoirs from the family that were handwritten, and her daughters shared it with us. Check that out. If I was younger, I wouldn't be able to read that. You see the writing? Yes. Thank you very much.